Hello everyone. In the previous video, I had discussed what is automatic storage class and what is register storage class. Now in this video, I will be discussing static and external storage classes. Now, static storage class. First, in the absence of explicit initialization, static variables are initialized with value 0. Storage allocation happens at compile time in data segment of memory. How this is different from automatic storage class? The storage allocation for automatic storage class variables happens at runtime in stack of memory. For static storage class variables, the storage allocation happens at compile time in data segment of memory. Now here, the first line, that is in case of absence of explicit initialization, the initial value is 0. So here also static variables are of two types. Like here, static variables can be local as well as global. So here this is my local static variable because this is declared inside a block, inside curly braces. So this is now local static variable. So if I am not explicitly defining, giving initial value, what value it will be having? It will be having 0. So if I try to print here its value, I should get 0. Comment on these lines. Okay, so what should I get? I should get 0 here. Okay, now static local variables have default value as 0 and their scope is limited to the block in which they are declared, but their lifetime is till the program ends. Now this static local variable, its scope is only inside this block, that is outside this block this variable value is unknown to any other function or any other part of the program. So if I try to print its value here inside this block, as we already know that this value variable is unknown here, so we will be getting some error here. See, value undeclared. So for local static variables, the scope is limited to the block in which it is declared. Okay, now next, their lifetime is till the program ends, and static local variables preserve value between function calls. Now their lifetime is the entire program till the program ends. So this is my one program. Okay, till this program ends, that is it is pushed out of memory, this value variable exists. Okay, this is known, this will exist in the memory till this program ends. There is the meaning of this line, that its lifetime is the entire program. Also I want to tell you that this 1.c file is my one translation unit. This one translation unit includes all this written code, all these statements, plus the code of this included file. Okay, so standard input output header file, its code included plus these statements makes up 1.c file, or I can say one translation unit. Okay, now in case of automatic storage class, the value between calls was not retained. Every time I called this one function, okay, the initial value was same. It didn't refer to the same memory location. I will tell this practically now. Here, in this case of static variable, here, if I give this value variable 100, okay, assign it with 100, so when I try to increment this, what should I get? I will get 101, 101. Okay, now again when I am calling this function, this line that causes definition or that causes storage to be allocated for this variable value, this doesn't happen second time. That is, the storage is allocated only the first time when I have called this function first time. Only at that time I have allocated storage for this variable value in data segment of memory. The second time when this function fun is called, this storage is not reallocated. Okay, on first time call I have already allocated storage for this. Okay, so second time this is just ignored and control transfers to this. So during first call my value was 101. Now this value will be referring to the same location in that segment, so now it becomes 102, so it will print 102. So now this is here. Okay, I have to comment this. So this is 101, 102. So what happened? In case of static storage class variables, allocation of memory or storage in memory will be done only once. First time when this variable is defined. Now second time when we encounter this statement, it is basically simply ignored because we have already allocated storage for this variable during first time call. Okay, now this is all about static local variable. Also we have static global variables. Now what is the meaning of static global variable? This is how. Now if I declared a variable outside any block, the variable have file scope. I've already discussed this in my scope classes video. So now this is having file scope, and the storage class for this variable can be static and external. Now in this video we will be discussing static global variables. Now this variable now will be accessible or is visible across all the blocks of memory. Okay, so here 100 will be printed, then 101, then 102. Okay, this is accessible across all the blocks. Now static variables have internal linkage and has file scope. Okay, internal linkage means this variable value is known across all parts of my program. Okay, this is my internal linkage. That is, this variable value is known across all parts of my program. It is accessible to all parts of the program. However, static local variables have no linkage. That is, static variable declared inside blocks, this block and this block. These are two different things. Memory for this, storage for this is different. Memory storage for this is different. These two are referring to different memory locations. However, in case of static global variables, the linkage is internal. Okay, and it is accessible across all parts of my program. So this is about static storage class. Now moving forward, the next is external storage class. Variable declared with external keyword is a reference to a variable with same name defined in some other file. They have external linkage, and when we declare a variable with external keyword, it is only declaration and not a definition. That is, no storage allocated to that variable. Therefore, it must be defined once in some file for allocation of storage. Now, what is the meaning of these three lines? First one, here I have defined some variable value with external storage class. Now this line meant that when we declare a variable with external keyword, it is only a declaration and not a definition. That is, no storage has been allocated to it. So Here this is only a declaration, that is I am telling the compiler that there is a variable value having external storage class. Okay, only this, no storage has been allocated to it in memory. So when I try to access this variable value, I will be getting error because first one, I have not given it any storage. I have storage, okay, in memory. So how can I access that value when there exists no storage? So here I will be getting error, undefined variable reference to value. What is the error? Undefined reference to value. So therefore it must be defined once in some file for allocation of storage. What can you do? I have defined this variable value with 100 of integer type in some file, and using this syntax. What this line means that during the pre-processing step, code of that file is included here. Now that line means storage, allocation of storage. So now value will be printed here like 100, 101. This will give me 100, then function is called, value is incremented, then it becomes 101. Okay, so this line meant that value variable has been defined and storage has been allocated to it. Also, now in case of external storage class variables, we have external linkage. External linkage means that we have defined the variable value in one file and we can refer to that variable from some other file. So here I have defined some variable value with initial value 100, and from this file, using this keyword extern, I am telling the compiler that please look for its definition in some other file. Other file means in what file to look for this definition? The file name given in this include syntax. Okay, so external variables, that is variables with external storage class, have external linkage. They can be referred from any other translation unit, okay, provided we are declaring it in a particular file. So this is mandatory. If I am using this, I have defined this variable value here and I am using this variable here. So this declaration is important. I should tell the compiler that this value exists in some other file. This value variable has been defined in some other file. Okay. Without this, this will give me error that it simply doesn't exist. Okay, so this is my external storage class variable. Now one exception is here in case of external storage class, that if I give the initial value at the time of declaration only, then it is treated as declaration and definition both. So in case of this, okay, I need not to include this. Now 1010 1011. Okay, so this has been treated as declaration definition both. Now in case of any variable having any storage class, the definition should occur only once, be it variable with automatic storage class, static, register, or external. Now here I have defined this variable value with initial value 1010, and this is my declaration, definition, and initialization. Three of those are present here same at the same time. So storage has been already allocated to it. I can't define it again. I can declare a variable any number of times, but I should define it only once. Otherwise, the compiler will complain that why you are requesting for storage again and again. I have already allocated to it storage to it. So if I include this line, now here I have declared variable value with initial value 100, so storage has been already allocated to it. Here I am again defining it, again requesting for storage, so I will be getting error. Redefinition of value, previous value was here, redefinition of value is this, and previous value was here. So I should define a variable only once, and it can be declared any number of times. It is important to declare a variable to tell the compiler that what is its type before it can be used. Here I should tell the compiler that variable value is of integer type, having external storage class. Look for its definition in some other file before using it. Okay, this is all about external storage class. Thank you.